Okay, so Skirk's banner has been officially revealed, and also Shenhe's. The simple answer is no, because let's talk about it. I'm gonna say specifically for Skirk, if you summon on her, it's up to you. But you better have Miss Coffee, or at least have a competent team for her, because characters like this, who don't necessarily do all the damage in the team, don't necessarily have, the best options. Now, you could say the exact same thing for Mavuika. Mavuika, you go ahead and you take her onto your melt teams, and then as soon as you don't have Silali, the damage drop off is insane. So you could say the exact same thing for Silali, or for Mavuika. So it's a little tough, but if you want this character, she's probably not going to steer you wrong. I don't know how strong she's going to be without all of her, characters that love her and, would do great with her, but I imagine she'll still at the very least be good. And that's all you really need, because then you can take good to great. And, it's not, taking mid to good, right? Whereas we can go ahead and we can talk about Shenhe here. No, I cannot on any level recommend anybody summon for Shenhe. This character does not provide a significant buff purely for the cryo characters that she buffs to actually make me want to recommend this character, because now we have Miss Coffee and we can just use Miss Coffee and Yelan and Furina as like Ayaka's best in slot freeze team, or not best in slot, but a good replacement for Shenhe, right? It's a good replacement for Shenhe. Same with Risley, same with Skirk probably. It's like Shenhe isn't going to provide enough for me to say, go ahead and summon on that character, go ahead and summon 200 summons for Shenhe so you can, make your cryo DPS better. I just can't recommend that to people. I really can't. So now that we've gone through most of the banners, let's go ahead and look at the weapon banner, which, it's a good weapon banner. Some of you might be shocked by me saying that. However, Calamity Queller actually has really good use for Eon-san. Eon-san, if you're able to max out her buff, so the low conversion rate, and you can max it out to 690 attack. It can happen. I will just flat out tell you, it can happen. So that's pretty good, if you do get to that. Because that means no matter what, you're going to be getting the maximum attack buff from Eon-san, which is very good. Because, there are some instances where maybe you're using a character that, you're out of stamina for, right? You need stamina to move, but you're out of stamina for the character. You'll still at least be getting the buffs. So if you're out of stamina, you'll have at least a better buffer compared to, you can only max it out once you have the high conversion rate, right? So it's nice. And then also we can talk about the 4 stars real quick. Zyphos Blade is insane, or Zyphos Moonlight. Very good weapon for Kazuha though. It's a weapon that can be really good. If you have it on Kazuha, it gives everyone like 30% energy recharge. That can make or break, Nevi needing energy recharge at all, right? It can really help them out. I use an R1 Zyphos Moonlight to this day on my Kazuha because I don't have a signature weapon, and I don't really plan to get a signature weapon because at this point there's just so many better weapons and better constellations and better characters to summon for that the summons aren't really worth it to try and go for a signature. So what I consider probably his second best weapon, I don't know like a full-on tier list whether actually Peak Patrol Song is Kazuha's second best weapon. I don't care, but when it comes to using a weapon, this Zyphos Moonlight feels insanely strong when I'm using it on some characters, and this can really help out a team in terms of just letting you easily have your energy up, right? Which is a pretty important part of some teams. So I've gone over all banners. I think you summon on this banner, you're not necessarily going wrong, but make sure you have Skirk. Oh yeah, and also I could talk about how, this weapon reminds me of Mavuika's weapon, Skirk's weapon here. It's probably gonna be the same story of you want the R1 rather than the C1, so, it's a whole thing, and yeah, so that's cool. Now, the 4 stars. Candace and Diona, they're kind of like options that you use when you have literally nobody else. I do not remember. Diona used to be really useful because we didn't have as many options. However, now we have a lot of options, and Diona is not really a character that we ever use at this point. She has her toolkit. She is good if you need her to be there, but like most of the time you don't need her to be there. So she's like a safety net sort of character. Like, oh, if you're really down bad, here's a, half decent character, right? And I would say honestly the same thing with Candace, but Candace does have niche scenarios where it's like, oh, she's actually better for Arlecchino Vape than every other Hydra character or something. I don't remember, but I've never even used Candace really. It's just this character you can do without on your account, and you will never know. You'll never know, like, oh, it's not like Shieldon or Kazuha, right? If you miss those characters, it's like, wow, your account sucks. It just outright sucks, At least that's how it felt in like 2.0, right? So it's been a bit since 2.0, so maybe I can't say that anymore. So but like, Candace here, not crazy. Dahlia, I think is what his name is. I think that alone tells. I didn't even look at the characters, like the guys like breakdown or anything. I'm gonna be honest, I just don't have faith in 4 stars. He could be good, he could not be good. But what I will say is, he's a new 4-star. It's not like you're gonna, hate not having him, right? He could be, Chevy again. I really don't know what his kit looks like at all. I haven't even like looked at like the Genshin like little introduction thing they gave him. I just don't care enough about this character. And I'm be honest, I really don't expect a 4-star to be good at this point. Like, when was the last like seriously good 4-star that we had? Like a genuine like, this 4-star is good. I think it was gaming. Okay, well, all right, hold on. Maybe I should be a little... Okay, maybe I should look into... I don't know why I'm so pessimistic about 4 stars, but I mean, we did kind of get 2 back-to-back with like good and good, and then Auroron isn't necessarily bad either. Kachina's pretty bad because she's just an artifact set. Sethos, I would consider Sethos bad. People really like to simp for the guy and be like, oh, his charge attack damage, but like when you compare him to someone like Gaming who's genuinely good, that bar of character for a 4-star, yeah, I'm not exactly gonna be like, Sethos, oh my god, this man does 200,000 charge attacks. I don't even know if he does that much damage on his charge attacks. I really don't care. But yeah, and then Auroron, I do like to talk Auroron up, but it's not like you're using him on a lot of best teams anymore, right? Especially now that Miss Coffee's out, you're not using Electro Charge. That is so funny. We all thought that Electro Charge was gonna be crazy, right? When Auroron came out, they buffed Electro Charge right before him or something. We all sort of thought like, oh my god, they're definitely gonna be, releasing like an Electro Charge DPS or something, right? And then nothing. Just nothing. That was insane. Like, they genuinely did that and didn't like... There was nothing after that. It was like such a weird time because we genuinely thought like, oh hey, there's probably something coming up. Like Varissa, I think was, oh man, she might be Electro Charge. Oh, she's gonna have a good Electro Charge team. Now, to be fair, there were a lot of characters who got good Electro Charge teams, like Chloride and Raiden, right? There are characters that did get good Electro Charge teams, but really nothing happened. But yeah, maybe I shouldn't be so pessimistic about the 4 stars, considering we had like Lanyan and Eon-san back to back, which I mean, those two are very good, I would say. Lanyan, she's a 4-star who, she's a very good shielder. I don't know her full kit because, like, again, you typically, unless it's Eon-san, these 4 stars are kind of sub options at this point, right? Eon-san, Chevy, like, you have to be in the real S tier plus to actually pop into some best in slot teams as a 4-star, because I'm looking at all these and I mean, there's nothing. I mean, Mika's there for Eula, but I mean, he's like almost specifically, not almost, he is legitimately specifically designed for Eula, and so is Farazan. So yeah, I don't have faith that the 4-star is gonna matter, but it could be good. Could be like, Auroron again, or Sethos, right? But in terms of best in slot teams, I don't think that I'll see Dahlia used a lot, right? I think, maybe it's too bad, right? If we go ahead and we consider Auroron bad, too bad, actually 3 bad. We'll see. We'll see, chat. Nothing is guaranteed, but yeah, what is guaranteed is that you're gonna hit that subscribe button, right? You made it to the end of the video, so thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.